What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is predictions time for Ireland versus Italy, taking place in Italy tomorrow evening. This should be an interesting game because the Italians are going to want to give the Irish a good fight and play some competitive rugby. Now the Six Nations campaign hasn't been too bad. Obviously they haven't picked up a win, but they've given the teams a little bit of a run for their money. If we look back at Italy versus Scotland, Scotland were absolutely dominating that game, but then the Scots allowed Italy to score 3 tries in the last 10 minutes. Now that just wasn't any given try, it was 3 quality tries that the Italians scored, and that momentum that they had in those 10 minutes needs to be brought early in the game against Ireland, because the Irish have a strong team who are capable of absolutely doing great things on that rugby field, so the Italians need to definitely be ready. Now, obviously, Italy and Wales was also an interesting game. The Italians put up quite a fight against the Welsh, but unfortunately, it just wasn't the result that they needed. They needed to obviously get a win. Now, one thing to also remember, obviously, that Welsh squad was not the strongest, and they didn't have the greatest game, and it was their, I think, second or third squad. So take that into account. Maybe if all the big boys were playing, we could have seen a bigger score, but 15-26 isn't too bad. If we look at a score for Italy, you normally think you get the big points and get the like 30s or 40s, but that wasn't the case. So credit to Italy for putting up a solid fight. But obviously the results for Italy lately just haven't been good. They need to really give the Irish a hard time up front and in the early days of the game, because unfortunately I think for the Italians, their dying moments against a team like Ireland is going to be very, very tough, because the quality of the Irish rugby team is pretty strong. Now Ireland obviously haven't had the greatest start to Six Nations, but having lost to England 32-20, but they bounced back against Scotland, also a tough fought game, but it still wasn't the Irish team that we know from last year. Last year was one of the greatest years for Ireland. Grand Slam Six Nations champions, beating Australia in Australia for the first time in many years, as well as beating the All Blacks. So when we started this year, we all thought, okay, Ireland's going to probably dominate and really prove us all right that they continue in the right form. But that wasn't the case. England surprised us and really took Ireland to another level and played some quality rugby. So wasn't a good start for Ireland. Even the Scottish game, as much as yes Ireland won, I still felt if Scotland had capitalised on the opportunities that they missed, we might have seen an even closer result and even maybe an upset. But that wasn't the case. Ireland's experience took them through. They scored good tries and they played good rugby, even though it wasn't their best game. Now this game is an important one, and why I say it's important is because Ireland really need to get a bonus point. If they don't get a bonus point this weekend, then their chances of maybe becoming Six Nations champions again is drifting away. Now at the time of this recording, England and Wales haven't played yet, and the importance of that game for Ireland is huge. Obviously Ireland lost to England, but Ireland still have an opportunity to play Wales. So if Ireland can beat Wales and with good points, and England lose to Wales, then there's maybe a little bit of an opportunity here. But it all comes down to who's going to play the best rugby on the field. And as you would have seen in my predictions video, I pretty much think that England are going to win, but I've been proven wrong before, and you can never count out this Welsh squad because there's pure talent there. So it's going to be an important game for Ireland, and they will be watching it carefully. But the focus must be for Ireland is absolutely going at this game solid, getting the tries, capitalising on opportunities, and finding the weak points of the Italians. Again, it's not going to be an easy walkover. I think the Italians will definitely come forward and give the Irish a bit of a fight. But I just think fitness levels won't go the way for Italy, and Ireland will just come back and play some competitive, dominant rugby. Now Ireland have gone with an interesting squad. I mean, okay, we're missing Healy and we're missing Best, but we still got Peter O'Mahony, who's one of the best in my opinion. CJ Stunder is still injured, so he's not in. But you've got Conor Murray, Johnny Sexton, Akai, and Stockdale, Earls. You've got quality within that squad. So Ireland are definitely not taking this game lightly, and are definitely not looking at this one and going, okay, we're just going to play second, third team and give it our all. They are playing some big guns because they know the importance of this game. They need bonus points and good points at it. So it's going to be an interesting contest. Now, I think we would all say that obviously Ireland are the favourites going through, and I think a few people say, Ireland will dominate. But again, like I mentioned before, could never count out the Italians. I don't think they're going to win, but they can definitely cause a surprise or two and a shock. And when I say a shock, preventing a bonus point, coming up close, scoring maybe in the dying minutes, scoring in the start. Anything could happen. That's the beauty of this game that we all know and love. If we look at the last 5 games that these two have played against each other, last year Ireland whooped the Italians 56-19. Pretty good for the Italians to get 19 points on the board, but 56 was a big one. Then in 2017, Ireland won against 63-10. In 2016, 58-15. In 2015, 26-3. And in 2014, 46-7. So clear favourites here are Ireland, and they've been dominating in the point scoring. I mean, it's been ridiculous how good they are. But what's going to happen this year? Italy are under pressure. People are saying, do they really deserve to be in the Six Nations? Should we go back to 5 nations? Should Italy get kicked out and bring in Georgia? Who knows what will happen in the future, but for now the Italians are still there, and they need to give an absolute fight, because it's just the results and their history aren't looking good for them. And if I have to look at the squad that Joe selected, it's definitely not a weak one. So it's going to be a challenge for the Italians to really put up a fight. So brings me to my prediction. I think the game will start off a bit strong. I think Italy will cause a headache or two in the first 10-15 minutes, but then I pretty much think Ireland are going to walk it. I'm confident that they will get a bonus point. I think that the strength within that squad, they've selected a good squad, and I think they have every capability of getting that bonus point. From a score point of view, I'm going to predict Ireland by more than 20 points. It should be an interesting encounter, but I just don't see the Italians causing an upset here. Ireland need this victory. They're going to know the importance of this victory and how they need to approach this game. They're not going to take it lightly. I really don't think so, and the squad proves it. It will be great for Italy if they can get some good points on the board and score some good quality tries. It's always good for confidence. But as for this game going forward, I really just don't see any chance in hell for Italy to win. So I'm going Ireland by more than 20 points. It's a victory that is definitely needed for the Irish. Personally, I think their chances of Six Nations is pretty much on the way out. But who knows, maybe Wales can pull an upset. I just think England are looking very good at this stage and are wanting that win more. Again, England and Wales, it's going to be a tough one. You've got a lot of emotion within that squad. You've got the home atmosphere. Obviously, even with Ireland playing in Italy won't be easy because that crowd's also quite electric. So it could be an interesting result. But as for me, I think Ireland will definitely win today. But I think from a Six Nations Championship point of view, I think that is pretty much gone. But who knows? We've seen teams come back and surprise us. We've seen teams really shock us, but for now it's about who's going to win this title. So we're going to look at Wales versus England tonight. If Wales win, hey, Ireland's going to be strong. So I'm sure they're going to be watching that game very closely, and then tomorrow we got this fixture. So it's a great weekend of rugby. We've also got Scotland versus France coming up. So if you haven't seen those prediction videos, make sure you click on the iCards above or go back on the channel and have a look at them. Should be interesting rugby. France versus Scotland, I think it's going to be a good game. England versus Wales is going to be the game of the weekend. But this game too, don't count out the Italians. I think they're going to put up a good strong fight, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Ireland to win by more than 20. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Turn on the bell notification so you do not miss out on another upload. Recaps will be tomorrow and Monday, so make sure you are subscribed for that. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate the support. Enjoy the rugby. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.